Write down chapter number 2, question 5. And this is the most important question. What is capital structure? What is capital structure? Question mark. Discuss the factors. Same question. Discuss the factors affecting with A, the capital structure of a company. Affecting the capital structure of a company. Answer.
Affecting the capital structure.
What is capital structure? Discuss the factors affecting the capital structure of a company. This is the main question of this part. Now, before we begin, what is the meaning of capital structure? If I ask you, think of any sport, think of cricket. In a cricket team, how many players are there? You know, 11. If I ask you, Unnati, what is the team structure? देखना कभी देखे हो टीवी में टॉस वगैरह होता है तो पूछता ना व्हाट इज द टीम कॉम्पोजिशन टीम स्ट्रक्चर का मतलब क्या हुआ इसे टीम स्ट्रक्चर मींस how many batsmen are playing, how many bowlers are playing, how many pacers are playing, how many spinners are playing. If I say there are 7 batsmen, 2 pacers, 2 spinners, 2 pace bowlers, 2 spin bowlers, that is one structure of the team. If I change the structure, if I say nahi spin nahi काम करेगा, तो I will say there are 7 batsmen, 3 pacers, 1 spinner. और अगर वो पूरा ग्रीन टॉप है, ग्रीन टॉप मतलब पूरा पिच पे पूरा घास है, जब पिच पे घास होता है और वेदर इज वेरी मॉइस्ट क्लाउडी तो स्पिनर स्पिन नहीं होता बॉल, स्पिन होता है ड्राई कंडीशन में. जितना ज्यादा पिच फटाफटा होगा ना एकदम ड्राई उतना ज्यादा स्पिनर्स खेलेंगे. तो इन सम केसेस दे से देयर इज नो स्पिनर, ऑल 4 आर पेस बॉलर्स. तो ये सब अलग अलग टीम स्ट्रक्चर है, राइट? So when we talk of capital structure, it means that if company is raising finance, because the chapter is business finance, when company is raising finance, yesterday we have discussed in length what is the meaning of business finance. Business finance means the money required by the company which it takes raises. तो अब इसका structure क्या है? Will it raise the full 100% through issue of shares? Or will it raise the full 100% through loans? Or will it raise some part through shares, some part through loans? Or some part through debentures? Okay, that balance, that percentage is the capital structure. Write down answer. First part is what is capital structure? Capital structure is the composition. Capital structure is the composition. COMPOSITION, composition of the amount of long-term funds, of the amount of long-term, long-TERM, long-term funds, 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 open bracket, and write own, OWN, own funds and borrowed funds. Own funds and borrowed, BORROWED, borrowed funds. Bracket close, full stop. In the words of CW, capital C dot capital W dot, like classwork, CW, Gerstenberg, spelling write down, G, capital G, GERS, and then 10, TEN, 10. And then iceberg wala berg, BERG. So GERS, GERS, then 10, TEN, and then iceberg wala berg, BERG, comma, open double quotes, Capital structure means the type of securities. Capital structure means the type of securities to be issued and the proportionate amounts, the proportionate, PROPORTIONATE, the proportionate amounts that make up the capitalization, 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 full stop, unquote. So this definition tells you, first line is capital structure is the composition of the amount of long-term funds. That long-term funds will be own fund or borrowed fund, or how much will be own fund? Own fund मतलब जो fund खुद का है, own capital, basically equity share capital और preference share capital. Share capital जो हम लोग accounts में भी करते हैं, तो shares are company का खुद का पैसा, because वो पैसा shareholder ने दिया है, and shareholders are the owners. Okay, so shareholders money is the own money because it does not need to be given back. वो return तो नहीं करना. Borrowed fund is either loan taken from bank or debentures, mainly debentures. Debentures और shares में यही फर्क है. दोनों का तरीका एक है. हम लोग पब्लिक से पैसा ले रहे हैं, पब्लिक को शेयर दे रहे हैं, पब्लिक को डिवेंचर दे रहे हैं. But the difference is that, and the difference is there in the next chapter, the difference is that equity shares do not need to be repaid. So if you are buying equity share, you become the equity shareholder, the owner. You will never get your capital back from the company. If you want to sell it, you can sell it in the second hand market to somebody. Second hand market को हम लोग share market बोलते हैं. समझे? When we talk of share market, which we had done in class 11 also, remember stock market, तो उसमें क्या हो रहा है? उसमें company is not playing any role. तुम किसी और को बेच रहे हो. It is second hand market, not primary market. It is secondary market. But the company will never return your money and until the company does. वही हम बोल रहे हैं. और डिबेंचर्स में क्या हो रहा है? हाँ, डिबेंचर्स में क्या हो रहा है? डिबेंचर्स में आई एम गिविंग यू द डिबेंचर और डिबेंचर सर्टिफिकेट, यू आर गिविंग मी द मनी. But debenture comes with a period. It is redeemable or returnable after 5 years, 3 years, 10 years. It is returnable. तो उसका भी accounts है. Like right now we are doing issue of shares, तो issue of debentures भी आगे. शेयर मार्केट में जो ट्रेडिंग होता है, वही तो मैं कह रहा हूं कि शेयर मार्केट में जो ट्रेडिंग हो रहा है, सपोज आई एम रनिंग अ कंपनी, आई इशू इक्विटी शेयर्स. वो इक्विटी शेयर्स तुमने खरीदा, अब तुम उसको 1 साल बाद अगर बेचना चाहते हो तो तुम मुझे नहीं बेच सकते, ये हम बोल रहे हैं. तुम शेयर मार्केट में बेचोगे. अब किसको बेचोगे? तुम्हारे जैसे किसी और आम जनता को, समझे, जिसको खरीदना है. तो इन द शेयर मार्केट द शेयर्स आर ट्रेडेड बिटवीन कॉमन पीपल, बिटवीन पब्लिक. वन पर्सन सेल्स, अदर पर्सन बाइज. और तुम वो तभी सेल कर पाओगे इफ देयर इज अ बायर. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है देयर इज नो बायर. सपोज कोई शेयर, कोई कंपनी का कुछ नाम खराब हो गया, कुछ करप्शन या स्कैम हो गया, तो यू विल ट्राई टू सेल बट नोबडी विल बी बाइंग, तो तुम सेल नहीं कर पाओगे. So in the words of C.W. Gerstenberg, capital structure means the type of securities. So here securities means basically shares or debentures. यहाँ पे securities का मतलब स्टार मार्क देके ऊपर में लिख लो. It means shares or debentures. Mainly shares or debentures. That what type of securities is the company going to issue? Is it going to issue shares or is it going to issue debentures? Okay, to be issued, and the proportionate amounts that make up the capitalization. What is the proportion or ratio? देखो, let us say the company wants to raise 100 lakh. 1 crore, 100 lakh. The company may decide I will issue 70% shares and remaining 30% debentures. So the ratio is 7:3. उसको बोलते हैं proportion. Okay, जो यहाँ पे लिखा है. तो proportion is here the proportion is the ratio is 7:3, and we will say that the company is running in low gear. Low gear. कार का gear होता है because the risk is low. When your car or bike is moving at low gear, the risk is low though. And when the gear is high, the risk is high. If a car is moving in fifth gear, the risk is high. Similarly, if the debenture amount or ratio is less, in our example 30%, and the shares proportion is more, in our example 70%, debenture carries risk. तो debenture कम होगा तो low gear, debenture ज्यादा होगा high gear. Let's say अगर 80% debentures है, 20% equity shares है, and the company is actually running at a very high risk, तो high gear बोलेंगे उसको. Understood? वो रिस्क क्यों है? We will discuss. वो रिस्क इसलिए है mainly कि if the company is unable to pay them interest, 80% debentures मतलब समझ रहे हो, बहुत ज्यादा debenture holders हैं. So if the company is not able to pay them interest, or if the company is not able to pay them in time, return them, अगर crisis आ जाता है, तो company will have to start selling its land, building, machinery. Company may have to be dissolved. But equity shareholders में क्या होता है? Even if the company is going through a lull period, मान लो 5 साल कंपनी बैठ गया है, कंपनी हैज नो लायबिलिटी टू पे यू एनीथिंग. इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स को कुछ भी पे नहीं करना होता. डिविडेंड इज नॉट कंपल्सरीली टू बी पेड. इट इज ओनली पेड व्हेन द कंपनी मेक्स प्रॉफिट्स. बहुत सारे कंपनी जो 20 साल से प्रॉफिट में नहीं है, तो वो डिविडेंड कभी नहीं देते. तो इफ द कंपनी हैज मोर इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स, the company has no immediate compulsion to pay any dividend or to return the capital. Okay, so company can take its time. Next para. Second part is discuss the factors affecting capital structure. और ये क्वेश्चन ही इस चैप्टर का कोर है. अगर इस चैप्टर का सबसे मेन क्वेश्चन है वो ये है that what are the factors that affect capital structure. Write down. Next para. The various factors are colon. Point 1. Point 1 is पॉइंट का नाम लिखो ट्रेडिंग ऑन इक्विटी. ट्रेडिंग ऑन इक्विटी. EQUITY. ट्रेडिंग ऑन इक्विटी. Give a dash. Sorry, before giving a dash, in bracket write financial leverage. Financial leverage. 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 Trading on equity, in bracket write financial leverage. Okay, bracket close. Underline this, give a dash और give a colon. अच्छा, ये पॉइंट का एक्सप्लेनेशन बुक में 1.5-2 पेज का है. ओके, जो बहुत हार्ड है, तो हम तुमको वो एक पैराग्राफ लिखा रहे हैं जिससे पॉइंट भी कवर हो जाएगा और वो एग्जाम में लिख भी सकते हो. व्हेन अ कंपनी, हाँ ये समझा रहे, लिखो आएगा इसमें. व्हेन अ कंपनी यूजेस, लेवरेज मतलब एडवांटेज. याद है वो लीवर किए थे क्लास में फिजिक्स में, याद है वो लीवर फलक्रम, फर्स्ट ऑर्डर, सेकंड और थर्ड ऑर्डर लीवर. फलक्रम बीच में होता है, एक साइड लोड और वेट, उसको लेवरेज बोलते हैं. मतलब उसमें हम लोग किए थे ना कि जब तुम लीवर नंबर 2 यूज करोगे तो सबसे ज्यादा लेवरेज होता है, एडवांटेज होता है. लीवर में क्या किए थे कि लीवर में ऐसा क्यों होता है? एडवांटेज के लिए. एफर्ट कम कर, तो लेवरेज मतलब फाइनेंशियल एडवांटेज. When a company uses borrowed funds, when a company uses borrowed, BORROWED, borrowed funds, FUNDS, funds in the regular conduct of business, in the regular conduct, CONDUCT, conduct of business, 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 along with equity capital, along with equity capital, comma, it is said to be, it is SAID, said to be trading on equity. It is said to be trading on equity. Full stop. It is a trade-off between, it is a trade-off, TRADE, trade hyphen OFF, trade-off between return and risk, return and risk, RISK, full stop. You know, trade-off, you actually give something, in return you take something. Trade-off, like sometimes, you know, you find that I am giving away this and taking this. Sometimes, you know, it happens everywhere. It happens, say, between zoos also. You know, zoo, you have been to zoo. कभी कभी देखना कि जैसे मान लो कि बंगाल में जू है, एलिपुर जू, और कोई जू मैसूर में, तो समटाइम्स दे ट्रेड ऑफ. बंगाल वाला बोलता है कि तुम मुझसे एक टाइगर ले लो और बदले में मुझे 3 कंगारू दे दो. उसको बोलते हैं ट्रेड ऑफ, एक्सचेंज. आईपीएल के ऑप्शन में भी होता है, एक प्लेयर गया, 2 आ गया, ऐसे एक्सचेंज, ट्रेड ऑफ. तुमको अगर बोलेंगे तुम अपना तुम्हारे 2 कैडबरी है वो दे दो, तो तुम बदले में कुछ लोगे ना, तो वो ट्रेड ऑफ है. तो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, समटाइम्स द कंपनी रिड्यूसेस its equity ratio and increases the डिबेंचर रेशियो, और वाइस वर्सा, है ना. कभी वो डिबेंचर कम करके इक्विटी बढ़ाता है और इक्विटी कम करके डिबेंचर बढ़ाता है. इसमें लाइक आई सेड कि देयर इज रिस्क एंड रिटर्न, ये ट्रेड ऑफ है. द मोर यू एड डिबेंचर्स, द मोर यू आर टेकिंग रिस्क. ओके, लेकिन रिटर्न भी है. अगर तुम डिबेंचर कम कर दोगे तो रिटर्न भी कम हो जाएगा. देखो, तुम बोलो कि डिबेंचर में अगर रिस्क है सर, तो डिबेंचर क्यों कर रहा है, वो खाली इक्विटी क्यों नहीं कर रहा. ये हम लास्ट वीक भी बोले थे कि डिबेंचर का फायदा ये है, जैसे कार में तुम हाई गियर का फायदा क्या होता है, स्पीड फायदा होता है, लेकिन रिस्क के साथ वो आता है. तो डिबेंचर में फायदा है रिटर्न, रिटर्न, क्योंकि मुझे प्रॉफिट का कुछ भी पार्ट नहीं देना है. अगर सपोज तुम डिबेंचर होल्डर हो, मान लो तुमने मुझे लोन दिया 10 लाख रुपया, मेरे को बस तुमको इंटरेस्ट देना है, जो मुझे ऑलरेडी पता है कितना होगा. 10 लाख का इंटरेस्ट मान लो कि 10,000 रुपया होता है, तो मुझे तुमको बस 10,000 रुपया हर साल देना है. अब मेरा प्रॉफिट करोड़ों में भी हो ना, तो भी मुझे तुमको सिर्फ 10,000 ही देना है. I do not have to share my returns or dividend or part of profit with you. Everything belongs to me. I know how much I have to pay. Okay. But when we decrease the debenture, तो risk कम हो जाएगा. But then I have to increase my equity shareholders. Now, if I have 10 equity shareholders, if I make profit, so I will have to give them profit का part. तो मेरे पास कम बचेगा. मतलब मैं भी शेयर होल्डर हूं. Each shareholder will get a smaller share if more and more shareholders get added. समझे हम क्या बोल रहे हैं. तुम लोग 4 जन हो, 4 शेयर होल्डर हो, प्रॉफिट का 25% तो सबको मिल रहा है. अगर 10 और आ जाए तो हर एक को तो कम कम मिलेगा. तो रिटर्न, रिस्क कम हो जाएगा, बट रिटर्न पर पर्सन या फिर अर्निंग पर शेयर भी कम हो जाएगा. उसको बोलते हैं अर्निंग पर शेयर, ईपीएस. एक चैप्टर है रेशियो अकाउंट्स में, उसमें एक टर्म आएगा ईपीएस, अर्निंग पर शेयर. फुल स्टॉप. देन डेट और बोरोड कैपिटल, DEBT, डेट, सेम पॉइंट, ये थोड़ा बड़ा पॉइंट है. डेट और बोरोड कैपिटल मतलब तुम्हारा समझ लो डिबेंचर या लोन. ओके, डेट और बोरोड कैपिटल मींस डिबेंचर और लोन. कैरीज ग्रेटर रिस्क, carries greater risk and the threat of and the threat THREAT, the threat of insolvency, 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 threat of insolvency. Insolvency, you know, a firm gets bankrupt and firm has to sell everything because BECAUSE, BECOZ नहीं मिलना चाहिए मेरे को कभी आंसर में, BECAUSE, because debt has to be repaid. Debt, DEBT, be silent. Debt has to be repaid, REPAID. Debt has to be repaid along with interest, along with interest, even when the company is in loss. Even when the company is in loss, full stop. If I take loan from bank or if I take loan from public, means debentures, regardless of my financial condition, I have to pay them interest. If I am unable to pay them interest, I will have to dissolve my firm. Full stop. On the other hand, comma, if the company is doing great business, if the company is doing great business, comma, it will have to pay more returns to shareholders. It will have to pay more returns to shareholders than than it does DOES to debenture holders and lenders. Debenture holders and lenders, 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 full stop. Clear? देखो यहाँ पे वापस से हम बोल रहे, listen carefully. Let us say the company has taken a lot of loan from bank and money from debenture holders. ठीक है? And equity share is less. Now two things can happen. If the company is doing great, then the company will be enjoying the wave. If the company is making a huge profit, then the company is in very safe position because I will easily give you the interest and the entire profit is kept by a small share of owners. But the risk is that the moment if the company is not doing great, if the company is nascent company at its nascent stage, newborn company, छोटा मोटा company, or a company that is always volatile, जिसका नेचर ही है वो कभी भी ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है. You see जैसे sometimes you see food delivery app, Blinkit, Flinkit, ये लोग का लाइफ का कुछ भरोसा नहीं है. भरोसा है some, because there are suddenly 10-15 companies coming and suddenly one of them goes out of favor. The moment they go through a slump period, they will not be able to pay interest to the venture holders. Their profits will shrink or there will be no profit. They will go on incurring loss, and they will dissolve. On the other hand, if I am issuing equity shares or preference shares, means shares, then the shareholders become the owners. I am taking money from you. In return, what I am giving you? Am I giving you a guaranteed interest? No. So I am giving you, I am not giving you interest. I am giving you a part of the company. A share is a share. in the profit of a company. What is the definition of share? A share means ये वाला share जो देते हम share जो खरीदते हो is a share in the share capital. ये definition है chapter number 4 में. What is a share? A share is a share in the share capital of the company. समझे? When you buy a share, you are enjoying a share, मतलब हिस्सा in the share capital of the company. But when you are buying debenture, then you are a lender and you will only get interest. So I have to pay you interest. And if my company is going through loss, I run the risk of insolvency. But if I make you shareholders and I don't have lenders or I have very less lenders, means borrowers, bank वगैरह बहुत कम है, debentures are very less. Then even if I suffer loss, I will have to just pay a few debenture holders. Company will not run any major risk of insolvency because shareholders will wait for the company to rise. एक छोटा सा फ्लोचार्ट बनाओ इस पॉइंट के साथ. Shareholders, lenders. Lenders, you can write debenture holders plus banks. This is mainly for your own understanding, but you can also add this in exam. Capital structure, ये flowchart बनाओ, make two wings out of it. Here you write shareholders, and here you write lenders, which mainly includes debenture holders and banks. So debenture holders plus banks. Under shareholders, you write two main points. They carry low risk for the company. But if the company has taken loan, then the company is carrying high risk. One more advantage. So this is a disadvantage for the company. When there is profit, then the company will have to pay higher dividends to each shareholder. In case of debenture holders or banks, same interest to be given, even if there is loss or profit or huge profit. Whether the company is having loss or having profit or having huge mega profit, it has to give the same interest. There is no difference. What is not clear, ask me. What is not clear, if any query is troubling you, ask. So what does it mean? It simply means that the company has one advantage, one main advantage if it issues shares, and one advantage if it issues debentures. What is the advantage in favor of shares? Shares carry low risk of insolvency. Debentures carry high risk because if the company is going through a bad phase, It will still have the debentures are basically creditors. वो तो creditors है ना, तो लोग आके तगादा करेंगे, और वैसे तगादा नहीं करेंगे जैसे मूवी में दिखाता है, बट कंपनी विल बी बाउंड टू पे देम. उनको पे करते करते कंपनी का प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस एकदम नेट लॉस इतना ज्यादा हो जाएगा दैट कंपनी विल हैव टू स्टार्ट सेलिंग इट्स एसेट्स, एंड अल्टीमेटली द लायबिलिटीज में बी सो हाई दैट द कोर्ट विल ऑर्डर फॉर डिसोल्यूशन, कि कंपनी डिसॉल्व करो. तो दिस इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ इक्विटी शेयर्स. बट डिबेंचर्स में भी एडवांटेज होगा, वरना कंपनी डिबेंचर इशू ही क्यों करेगा. एडवांटेज इज दैट कोई भी आदमी ना जब कोई बिजनेस करता है तो ये सोच के नहीं करता कि लॉस में चलेगा. ये सोच के करता है दैट वी विल आइदर स्टार्ट मेकिंग प्रॉफिट इमीडिएटली or after a few months or few years. The target is high profit. So I am thinking that if I make or start making high profit, then if I have a lot of equity shareholders, then most of my profit will go in their pockets. Okay. But if I have more debenture holders, then most of the profit will come to me. I will have to simply pay them interest, which I was paying even during loss. Same interest. When the company goes from loss to profit, the interest does not change. Clear? तो दोनों में एक फायदा और एक नुकसान है ना. दोनों में एक फायदा और एक नुकसान है. तो अपन क्या करें? अपन कौन सा तो okay. So the company basically has one advantage, one disadvantage. So company क्या करेगा? Company will try to create a balance. Okay, 50% equity, 50% debenture, or 60% equity, 40% debenture, or ulta jo bhi, whatever. But some kind of a ratio will be there. Point number 2. This was the first point, trading on equity. Second point is exercise of control. Point number 2. Exercise of control. OF. Exercise of control. Dash. The greater the equity shareholder, the greater the equity shareholder, comma, wider, WIDER, wider becomes the controlling hands. Wider becomes the controlling hands. HANDS, hands, open bracket, as each shareholder has one voting right. As each shareholder has one, one voting right. VOTING. Voting right. Bracket close. Full stop. So, comma, if the promoters, PROMOTERS, promoters want to retain control, want to retain, RETAIN, want to retain control in their own hands, in their OWN, own hands, comma, they may prefer to issue more debentures and less equity shares. More debentures and less equity shares. Full stop. If I'm a promoter of a company, means I start the company. If I want that, I do not want too many people voting, then I will issue more debentures. Because if you become debenture holder, you do not have any voting right. If you are a shareholder, suppose I am the promoter, तुम लोग सब shareholders बन जाओ. So in the voting process, you may oust me from the company. The shareholders may, because every shareholder has one vote. Even if I am the promoter, I have only one vote. You have, so it's a democratic process. So something may happen which I do not like, even though I started the company. समझे? ऐसा हो सकता है कि कंपनी उसी का नहीं रहा जिसने स्टार्ट किया. Point number 3, need for flexibility. Need for flexibility. FLEXIBILITY. Need for flexibility dash an ideal capital structure. An ideal capital structure must have the flexibility must have the flexibility FLEXIBILITY of retention RETENTION of retention and repayment 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 full stop. So comma equity shares must be accompanied equity shares must be accompanied 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 with debentures and preference shares with debentures and preference shares full stop. This point means that if a company only issues equity shares, it will not have to repay anything. Everything becomes a liability. Sometimes there has to be a balance that I want to repay some part of the capital in the future. So if I issue preference share capital or debentures, which are repayable after 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, तो कंपनी का जो लायबिलिटी का लोड होता है वो थोड़ा कम होता है over the years, not immediately. So company wants that I do not want 100% equity. I also want some bit of liability to be cleared in the future. So it will take some debentures or some preference shares and some equity shares. Point number 4, nature of business. Nature of business. Underline dash. Capital structure also depends on capital structure also depends on nature of business. Nature of business full stop. So comma those companies enjoying ENJOYING those companies enjoying regular earnings EARNINGS can afford AFFORD can afford to have high capital gearing can afford to have high, HIGH, high capital gearing, GEARING, high capital gearing, ब्रैकेट, क्या मतलब हाई गियर? हाई गियर समझ गए क्या मतलब वो हाई गियर का? हाँ, जो रेशियो है उसमें डिवेंचर का थोड़ा ज्यादा प्रोपोर्शन है. in bracket right means more debt capital, means more debt capital, DEBT, debt capital, bracket close. Debt capital means like more debentures and bank loans, bracket close, as they can shoulder, SHOULDER, they can shoulder greater risks, greater risks, 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 full stop. मान लो एक आदमी है, उसका मंथली सैलरी है 30,000. हाउ मच? 30,000 रुपीज. हाउ मच? 30,000. 30 नहीं, 30,000. अब वो एक तो कार खरीदता है. ओके, कार खरीदता है. ऑलराइट, देयर आर टू ऑप्शंस. ईएमआई पे खरीदता है, थोड़ा सा डाउन पेमेंट एंड देन ईएमआई. एक ऑप्शन है दैट यू पे 10,000 रुपीज पर मंथ फॉर 1 year, 12 months, 10,000 रुपीज पर मंथ. उसका सैलरी कितना है? 30,000. तो तुम सोचो वो ये चुनेगा या फिर एक और ऑप्शन दे रहे हैं कि 5,000 रुपीज पर मंथ फॉर 2 years, या 2 years से थोड़ा और ज्यादा, मान लो 2 years and 2 months मोर. कौन सा? वाई?
लॉन्ग टाइम पे
लॉन्ग टर्म में उसमें दो दो महीना एक्स्ट्रा देना पड़ेगा. उसमें 2 महीना 5,000 5,000 दो बार और एक्स्ट्रा देना पड़ेगा. वो 12 months का 26 months हो रहा है. अब तुम्हें रीजन देखो, यहाँ पे तुम उसका इनकम देख रहे हो कि आउट ऑफ 30,000, 10,000 अगर वो दे दे तो ही इज टेकिंग अ हाई रिस्क. फिर तो कुछ बचेगा ही नहीं, मेडिकल इमरजेंसी कुछ होगा तो वो हो जाएगा. नाउ इफ आई से दैट द पर्सन हैज हाई इनकम, 2 लाख रुपीज पर मंथ, मतलब उसको इतना इनकम का चिंता नहीं है. जैसे टाटा को, रिलायंस को, आईटीसी को, उनको क्या इनकम का चिंता है? बीसीसीआई को, उनको क्या इनकम का? जिसको इनकम का चिंता नहीं है, अब वो 10,000 रुपीज, उसका 2 लाख रुपीज इनकम है, तो वो 10,000 लेगा, वो ले सकता है. तो उसका उसका उसके लिए ज्यादा, हाँ, आराम से, उसके लिए ज्यादा इजी है. तो वही चीज यहाँ पे है. इफ द कंपनी इज वेरी कंफर्टेबली सिटिंग एट अ प्रॉफिटेबल मार्केट, इट नोज दैट हाँ, आई एम अ रेप्यूटेड कंपनी, आई गेट लॉट्स ऑफ प्रॉफिट. कोई भी ले लो, फिलिप्स ले लो, ब्रिटानिया ले लो, जो मतलब तो जिसका प्रॉफिट मोरलेस है, उसको पता है कि आई विल नॉट बी इन अ सिचुएशन दैट आई विल हैव टू कैरी अ बेगर्स बोल. तो ये लाइन का वही मतलब है. इफ द कंपनी फील्स आई डू नॉट हैव एनी इनसफिशियंसी ऑफ फंड्स, मेरा जो कैश इनफ्लो है एवरी मंथ, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ कैश इनफ्लो, then it will want more debt capital because it knows that it can easily pay off interest every year. Okay, जो कि इस लाइन का मतलब है, it will be willing to shoulder greater risk, full stop. On the other hand, on the other hand, comma, those firms, FIRMS, those firms with fluctuating, with fluctuating, FLUCTUATING, with fluctuating and unpredictable earnings, unpredictable earnings, UNPREDICTABLE, unpredictable earnings may find it safer, may find it safer, SAFER, to depend more, to depend more on equity shares, to depend more on equity shares, in bracket, right? That is like I dot E dot. I dot E dot. That is low capital gearing. होमवर्क कर लियो? नहीं अभी कर लो फटाफट, अभी 10 मिनट है. ये तो some variation partnership का वो कर लो. That is low capital gearing. Low capital GEARING, gearing. अब यहाँ पे कौन what is happening? If the company's profit is fluctuating, जैसे कि for example Indigo, you know, any flight airline, तो उसका profit fluctuating है. Sometimes it heavily depends on petrol price and government policies. Its profit, sometimes it makes good profit, sometimes it makes huge loss. No guarantee what will happen after 2 years. So for such a company, it is a wiser thing to depend more on equity shares and not take so much debt. More equity shares मतलब low risk माने low gear. तो कार में जब गियर लो रहेगा तभी तो रिस्क लो रहेगा. तो उस तरह याद रखो. लो गियर, लो रिस्क means low debentures, more equity. Okay. Point number 5. Cost of financing. Cost of financing. FINANCING. Cost of financing dash. The cost of financing. The cost of financing or capital raising. Capital RAISING. Capital hyphen raising is a major factor. Is a major factor while deciding on DECIDING while deciding on share or debenture capital. Share or debenture capital. Full stop. The prevailing rate of interest. The prevailing, PREVAILING. The prevailing rate of interest and the expected dividend rate. Expected dividend, DIVIDEND, dividend rate. You do one thing. The prevailing rate of interest ना, उसके बाद ब्रैकेट में लिखो. After rate of interest, just add a word in bracket. For debt, DEBT, debentures and bank loans. For debt. और after this expected dividend rate, यहाँ ब्रैकेट में लिखो for equity. For equity. EQUITY, for equity. Bracket close. Need to be considered. The prevailing rate of interest and the expected dividend rate need to be considered. Full stop. This is basically the cost of financing, which means the financing or capital raising. उसका cost क्या, company को क्या cost आएगा? How much company will have to pay interest and how much company will have to pay dividend. If the company thinks that I have to pay a huge interest in comparison to dividend, it will want to shift to shares. If the company thinks that the dividend rate will be high and the rate of interest will be comparatively less, it will shift to debentures. This has to be kept in mind. And last point, point number 6. Capital market conditions. Capital market conditions. वो सम करके आया राघव? करो अभी 5 मिनट है, अभी करो. capital market conditions, underline, give a dash. Market conditions also play a role. Market conditions also play a role in deciding the capital ratio. In deciding the capital ratio. Capital ratio. Full stop. During boom, BOOM, comma, investors are willing to invest more in equity shares. Investors are willing to invest more in equity shares. As they have faith in the capital market. As they have faith in the capital market. Full stop. But during bearish market, BEARISH, bearish market or adverse economic conditions, adverse, ADVERSE, adverse economic conditions, comma, the investors prefer more stable investments, more stable, STABLE, more stable investments like debentures. Full stop. Oh, Nati, what is the meaning of this one?
मार्केट कंडीशन पे डिपेंड करता है कि अगर फर्म का प्रॉफिट ज्यादा हो रहा है तो वो चाहेगा कि वो
नहीं, फर्म का प्रॉफिट नहीं, यहाँ पे मार्केट कंडीशन का मतलब है कि व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन ऑफ इकोनॉमी. जैसे कि समटाइम्स हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि द मार्केट इज वेरी हाई, शेयर मार्केट बहुत तेज है. क्लास 11 याद है, बुल एंड बियर के, बुल एंड बियर, which means when people are buying more shares when the market is very positive. Indian political situation सब कुछ ठीक है, people are buying shares, so they will be willing to buy more shares. In that case, company will also issue more shares. But if the situation is adverse, जैसा अभी चल रहा है, वॉर हो रहा है, वॉर में क्या हो रहा है, तुम तो शेयर मार्केट को तो पता नहीं होगा, तो दिल्ली शेयर मार्केट गिर रहा था जब वॉर हो रहा था. अभी तो सीज फायर चल रहा है, तो शेयर मार्केट दिल्ली गिर रहा है. समझ लो, गिर रहा है मतलब लोग बेच रहे, खरीद नहीं रहे. तो ड्यूरिंग सच सिचुएशन व्हेन द मार्केट इज बियरिश और व्हेन देयर इज सम एडवर्स प्रॉब्लम which is geopolitical problem or economic problem or lockdown and all, उस समय कंपनी शेयर इशू नहीं करेगा, लेकिन कंपनी को पता है कि लोग खरीदेंगे नहीं, because the investors, which means public, they will prefer not to buy equity shares but they will prefer to buy debentures. तुम सोचो ना, तुम एक इन्वेस्टर हो, you have 5 lakh rupees to invest. You will invest in debentures or you will invest in equity. You have to think. If you want a stable return, you want a fixed return, कि मेरे को हर साल 10% इंटरेस्ट मिलता रहे, तो नहीं तो debentures. In debentures, suppose you have given 5 lakh and every year you are getting 10,000, 10%, 50,000. Every year you are getting for 10 years. And then you will also get your capital back. वो तो मिलेगा ही. तो you want कि मुझे stable return चाहिए. Debentures, जो कि तुम चाहोगे during war like situation or recession or lockdown or some kind of bearish market. But if you are as a potential investor, if you are bullish about the market, bullish का मतलब है, याद करो क्लास 11 में, you are expecting the prices to double triple. मतलब तुम जो शेयर, तुमको लग रहा है कि ये कंपनी तो भागेगा, ये कंपनी 10 गुना प्रॉफिट करेगा, तो तुम सोचोगे कि आई विल बाय इक्विटी शेयर्स, बिकॉज इफ यू बाय इक्विटी शेयर्स ऑफ ₹5 लाख, यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, जैसे लोग बोलते हैं ना, अरे इससे पैसा डाल, पैसा 4 गुना हो जाएगा, एक साल में 4 गुना हो जाएगा, which means your 5 lakh will become 4 times. How much? 20 lakh. तो what will you think? 20 लाख होगा या वो 50,000 लोगे? 20 लाख लोगे ना? तो this point is basically about public sentiment. Sometimes public themselves want to buy equity shares, and sometimes public themselves want to buy securities, like they want to invest in debentures, or they want to put their money in fixed deposit account in bank. Okay, so this is a very very important question. इसको यहाँ से एकदम लर्न कर लेना, लेकिन बुक से भी इसका थोड़ा पॉइंट्स पढ़ लेना. एक क्वेश्चन और लिखो छोटा सा. We have done what is the capital structure, what are the factors affecting capital structure. Define. Number A, fixed capital. Number B, working capital. आंसर लिखो फ्रॉम बुक. ये मार्क कर देंगे, बुक है तो निकालो, मार्क कर दे रहे, पहले समझा दे रहे पहले. You already know what is fixed capital and working capital. Fixed capital वो है जो पैसा ब्लॉक हो जाता है. Fixed capital is that amount which gets blocked. You buy machinery, land and machinery, the money gets blocked. Okay, the money gets blocked. Let us say if I am opening a Xerox and printer business, so I have to think that I have to buy printing machine and Xerox machine, let's say of ₹5 lakh. So that is my fixed capital, because that money gets invested in the machine. I cannot get it back after one week. That is fixed capital, and it is invested to earn regular income. And then I will think I will also need some khudra money to buy papers, to buy ink, to pay electric bill. But this is circulating capital. It is circulating because this money will come back whenever I make a sale. If I am buying paper of ₹1, so the moment I sell the paper, let's say for 2 rupees or 5 rupees, the money will come back. So this हाथ का पैसा, खुदरा हाथ का पैसा, is called working capital, also called circulating or revolving capital, because it revolves. Okay, ये आंसर लिख लो फ्रॉम बुक, ये मार्क कर देंगे, मेरे पास बुक ले आना, तुम लोग का भी मार्क कर देना.